What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, we're going to focus on the Shopify Liquid language, which is used for template manipulation with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We have the documentation right here. This is what we are going to use throughout the tutorial to have a reference. This is the Shopify Liquid reference. Everything that you need pretty much is here. And the project that we are going to be working today is going to be this website, which is a clone from Nike's e-commerce site. Let me show you the customization manager so we get to see the website. And if you're familiar with Shopify, you're gonna know that especially the new architecture, which uses JSON templates, divides the website pretty much in sections. So this is what we're gonna be working today. So we can customize our website from this customization manager that comes with Shopify, okay? That's pretty much the point. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comments down below. And yes, let's start. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. Okay guys, so we're going to work on setting up our environment. The first thing I'm going to do is to create a folder. Let's call it Nike, just Nick, like this. And now I'm going to, so for the next step, I'm going to open VS Code and I'm going to open this folder. The first thing that we're going to do, we're going to create 7 folders. Shopify's theme structure, it's composed of 7 folders. You can find all this information in the documentation. I'll show you right now the architecture, the official documentation. You know what? I'll show you right now because why not? And this is the theme reference. In architecture, you get to see everything, the folders usually Shopify it's composed of. And inside here, I'm going to create the first one, which is going to be assets. Next, I'm going to create the next one, which is going to be config. And the next one is going to be layout. I'm going to create another one. Let's call it locales, sections. Let's create another one for snippets, one more folder for templates. So this is going to be the folder structure. The entry point of our project is going to be right here in the layout folder. Inside here, you have to create a theme.liquid file. And inside here, we're just going to start with a basic HTML document. For extensions, I'm using 2 extensions at the same time, but just type liquid here and the VS Code extension. So if I have a typo, and you can either use this one or this one, which is the official documentation for Shopify. And this is the one I recommend. Let's go to the layout folder and we are going to create our first file, which is going to be the entry point of the project. Just name it theme.liquid. This is going to be the name of the file. It's going to be your typical HTML configuration file entry point. We're just going to do some extra configuration that comes, of course, from Liquid. So let me just copy and paste this part. And inside my main tag, I'm going to call my first object. So when we specify 2 curly braces, it's because we are calling objects in Shopify. So just call it content for layout. It's right here. This is going to be our first configuration file, and we need to specify an ID, which is going to be main, and also we need to give it a role, which is going to be main as well. So we need to do the same for our header. Okay, so let me copy and paste here. Let's go for head, and these are required by Shopify. You can find all this information in the documentation. Basically, what happens here is the content for layout is going to link our project to our templates. We have another entry point, which is called the index.json, and this is where we use our new JSON templates architecture. And inside here is basically just an array of objects, and each object represents a section and their order, and you can specify the default settings for the specified section in this part. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let's call it sections, and this is going to be the sections that are going to come by default in our index page. Okay, so the first one that we are going to create, let's call that one called banner. So for each section, you can also specify the default settings, and this is it. This is how you specify sections. Our first section is going to be called banner. You specify the type, and then you can specify default settings, which I'll show you in a second. Now we have another property. I think it's not right here. You have to specify it below our sections. Yes, it's right here. So we have the order property. It's the default order of the sections. Okay, now that we're done here, let's go to our sections folder and specify and create our new file, and create a new file called banner.liquid. And inside here is basically just HTML snippets. So let's create a section. We need to specify an object called schema in the part below. In our configuration schema object, we have to specify a few attributes like the name of the section, which is going to be banner, the settings, which I'll show you in 1 second, and then you have to specify this attribute called presence, which is going to let you delete or add the section into the template. So let's just type hello world or classic hello world. Let's save the project. For the next step that we have to follow here is we have to compress this folder and then feed it into our Shopify admin so we can see the changes and then start constructing our development server so we can see changes in real time. So I save everything. Yeah, everything's saved. So I'm going to go right here, have a terminal in my desktop, and then let's call zip r my name zip and then the name of my project, and then compress everything. You have to go to your themes section, and then go to add theme, select the theme that you want to add. Now let's just drag and drop this project, upload the file. Let's wait 1 second, and now this is our project. Now let's publish so we can use our project. And the theme has been published, so perfect. So if you go to customize, let's see what's happening. Nothing is displayed because we don't have anything, right? So let's just go back. Let me minimize the browser, and now we can start creating our development server. So we need to run a few commands. We are going to use our Shopify CLI for this. So just type Shopify. This is the Shopify CLI, and you get to see all the commands that you have available. We have to type Shopify theme pull. This is the command, but you need to be logged in before. I'm already logged in, but just type Shopify login and follow the steps. Shopify theme pull, and here we're going to pull a theme from our start, right? So are you sure you want to proceed? So just make sure you do this in a folder because it's going to pull the folders into a new folder. And now we can run our theme pull. So let's see, let's wait what happens. This is our live theme. Next, so let's type enter and wait. Okay, our project is right here. So now let me go to VS Code, and we're going to go to our new folder. So let's open it. This is our new project. We have a few files that Shopify generate for us. Now we need to serve our new project, right? So type Shopify theme serve. And this is going to display, this is going to start development server. So let's confirm the changes. Let's wait for Shopify to synchronize everything. Okay, so this is our project, and now we're going to start working on changes so we get to see our first screen. I want to display the banner template first, so let's go back to our new project and see what's going on here. So it seems Shopify deleted our templates folder, as that's never happened to me before. So let's create a new templates folder and let's do everything again. So I'm just going to do it really quick here. Okay guys, so back with you again. I just created the banner section again and or indexed the JSON because we weren't seeing the changes. Now we get to see with the changes, open a new terminal, and I want to push the new changes to our store. And how do we do that? So the command is really simple. It's Shopify theme push. You're gonna see this, and then you're gonna push your changes to your theme. We're using our live theme, so let's just type Nick. Are you sure? Yes, and just wait. Your theme was pushed successfully. Perfect. Let me go back to the browser and see what happened. All right. Let me go to customize. And we get to see our hello world, so everything's working. So okay guys, so now we're going to start working in our sections. So I want to first show you how do you link directly a section into the main body. So you have to call this section tag, and here you have to name the section a name that you want to link to. So we're going to create our first another section. I'm going to call it announcement bar. just save the file and then go to your section and name and create a file with the same name. Let's create a section, and we're going to do the same as we did before. So let's copy and paste this schema. Now let's give it a name. Here, let's save the changes. Let me check if my server is still running. Yep, I think it's running. So let's go to the browser. And we have to go here. We're displaying the, and as you see guys, we're displaying the changes, so everything's working perfectly. So let me just go to my index. I know it's this one, theme, the liquid. Basically what's happening here, our main tag, which contains our content for layout, is in charge of displaying all the templates. Okay, and we can inject a section directly here. So for things such as an announcement bar, the header, and the footer that we will create in a second, it's going to always be displayed here. So when we do some navigation, the announcement bar is going to stick to the screen. So let's go back, let's close these windows. I'm going to expand everything. So we're going to start by creating a few settings for our announcement bar. It's going to be of type checkbox. Okay guys, so this is pretty much it. We're gonna have our announcement bar, and then on settings we're going to have our first setting, which is going to be a checkbox. It's going to show or not show our announcement bar. So now go to the terminal and push the changes to the live theme, click yes, wait for everything to be ready. Everything's ready. So now let me refresh the page, and this is our announcement bar. Now we can see it here, and we have this checkbox, and this is the checkbox I'm talking about. So we have our settings here, and with these settings we get to customize our theme here. So nothing is being displayed here. We haven't added any liquid to our HTML. So let's go back and let's keep working. Above here, I'm going to create a tag, and then we're going to create a condition. So we're going to type if section that settings dot show announcement. So let's save the changes, and now I'm going to push the changes so we get to see if we are able to use this checkbox. Okay, let's go back. I'm just refreshing. Go to customize. This is the announcement bar, and if we click the checkbox, as you see, it's working. So yeah, so let's keep working on this announcement bar. And I have a picture here, I have a screenshot, so we have some visual. This is the first thing that we're going to work on. So we're gonna have this. This is basically gonna have it's going to be a div containing two divs inside here, and then we're gonna use some flexbox to separate these divs with space between. So let's do it. So let's create a new div here. Let's name it announcement bar. Inside here, let's create another div, and this is going to be for our icons, right? This class is going to be our left section. And we're going to have another div that's going to be our right section. So let's name this one right. And yeah, so inside here we're going to have two images, if you guys remember. So let's display them, and let's allow the user to add the images from the customization manager from Shopify. So let's put a condition here, and we need an image. So in order to add images, let's go here. We're going to need an image picker. So it's going to be very similar to this one. I'm going to duplicate here, but instead of checkbox, we have to call it image picker. Let's put an ID here. So it's going to be our image, and for the label, pick image. And there's not going to be a default value. Instead, we're going to have some let's put some info here. So yeah, so we're going to use the setting. So back here, now we have access to our image. So we're going to have, if the image is not blank, we're going to display the image that's picked by the user. Otherwise, we're going to display another image, right? That's going to be our default image. So this first image is going to be the one that's going to display the image from the user that the user picks, whatever they want to pick. So let's put a source here, and then here we're going to access again our section and the image picker from before, right? So section, the settings, the image, and you have to specify a filter here. That's image URL. Okay, so here let's see a message. We're missing width and height, so we have to add these properties, and that's it. We're not getting any more errors. So now let's copy and paste this page right here. Let's delete this bar and grab the image from our assets folder. So from asset URL, we're going to grab an image that's going to be named PNG. Okay guys, so this is the image. So let me go back to the announcement bar, and yeah, I think we can save the changes, and let's see if we are seeing anything on screen. And I'm going to let's push everything so we can see the changes in live team as well. Let's go to the browser in the meantime. Yeah, I saw the image, so we're seeing the image here, so perfect. And let me go to the test development store, and this is our announcement bar. And we get to see our image picker right now, so we can pick a different image. So let's pick this shoe, and you get to change the image from the admin. Let's go back, and we're going to do basically the same for the other image. So we're going to need another image picker. Let's copy and paste this one. We just need to change the ID here, so it's going to be image 2. And we can create another condition, but this time is going to be for our image 2, right? Image the 2, and this one is going to be the PNG. Let's save the changes and go to my live changes. I want to see what's happening. And yes, we're seeing the image. Now I want to show you how do we change text color and background color from our settings. So right here, I'm going to copy and paste this bar. So this is for the background color, and this one is going to be for our text color. Okay, so you have a type, you have an ID, you have a label, and you have a default color. For the background color, my default one is going to be white color, and for our text is going to be black color, but we get to change them from our admin. So now we need to inject these colors in CSS, which is usually what you use for these cases. So down here, I'm going to create a style. And I'll show you right now, I just remember, I'll show you how do you link your styles. If you want to code your CSS in the assets folder, I'll show you how do you link that to your project right now. But first, let's create the announcement bar section and put those styles here. And inside here, just call this is the class of the section. Just grab your main menu by the class, and in the background color where you would usually put your CSS, just call your sections, your settings, and then your background. And the same for the text color. So let's push changes and see what's happening. You have to refresh, always refresh. Let's pick the announcement bar, and yeah, we have our background and our text color, and everything's hooked. And you see, you can change the background color, you can change the text. We don't have any text right now, but it would work. Now we need two links. We need a link. This says account, but we're going to display this with an if statement. So if a user is logged in, we're going to display that account. And if we haven't logged in, we're just going to display an A tag that's going to take you to the login template. So in the right announcement bar, let me expand this bar. So this is it right here. So let's make a UL, and this UL is going to have a class 2, so I'm going to copy and paste this one, and here we're going to have an if statement. So let's put an if statement here. So we're going to check if section that blocks. So now I'm going to introduce you to a new property from settings, which is blocks. So blocks essentially means a section nested inside another section. What I mean by that is this. Okay guys, so inside settings we're going to have our blocks. So what are our blocks? It's more settings, right? So we're gonna have a text setting and we're gonna have a link setting. So we're going to change the text and the link of the A tags dynamically. Now we have to go back here, and I think I'm getting the error because of this if statement. So we're going to continue. So if blocks the size is equal to 0, we're going to display something. So if there's nothing, we're gonna have some default values, else we're gonna have the ones that come from the user, and then we have to end our if statement. So inside here, let's just type some, since we're using a list, we have to use our list tags. And inside here, let's create an A tag, put an href. Let me copy and paste this one more time. And inside here, we're gonna have account. And we're going to take this one. And this is the path for the user account. So yes, we're going to loop now in our blocks, okay? So let me start the loop and we can end the loop as well. And 4. And inside here, we are just going to have a list again. Okay guys, so just save the changes and I think we're ready here. So hold on, I want to make some I want to do a quick modification before this. So we're going to check if we have a customer. So let's check if customer, let's end the else, let's end the if statement so we don't have any errors here. So we're gonna have, if we have a customer, and we also are gonna check if the shop customer is enabled. So you have to check that as well. So if that's enabled and we have a customer, we're going to display the account tag. Else, we're going to just grab the same thing here. We're going to take it to the account login. Account login. Sign in. And then let's save the changes. And I think that's really it for our announcement bar. Oh yes, I was going to show you how to link our CSS. So let's go to the file tree. Let me go here, and below here we're going to link our CSS. So you just have to open, you just have to inject the object. So theme, the CSS is going to be our file. We have to put a few properties. We have to put the assets, URL for images, and we also are going to need the style sheet tag. Okay, style sheet tag. So yes, I think this is it. Let's go to assets and create the same file, theme, the CSS, and inside here we can write plain CSS. So let's give it a try. Let's put a body here. Let's put the padding, which is going to be 0. Let's put margin 0, so we don't have that default margin and padding from HTML. So here, let's display as flags. Let's justify the content with space between, and we're gonna have some padding, right? So let's put padding. It's not gonna be auto, it's gonna be from the top. From the left is going to have 30 pixels, no padding on the bottom, and 30 pixels as well here. Okay, and we're going to push the new changes again to liquid. So I want to see everything in our store. So just go on Shopify team push. Let's push everything to the live team. And as you see, this is everything is working. This is the announcement bar. So it's pretty cool. We have this help and this sign in button. I think if we click here, it's gonna take us, this is going to take, before you override the login page with your own custom one, Shopify is going to give you a default one for the customer account. So this is it. So let's go back and let me go to my store. It's this one. Just reload, let's click enter to see new changes. Yeah, everything's working, and we can add links right here. We just have to fix this part because we need to make them horizontally. Let me go back here. Let me go to my team CSS. So let's just fix it. Let's copy this part. I think it's left section. Left section. Display effects. Let's delete this part and go align items. So we're gonna have a display flex and align items to the center. So everything center. Let's see. Where's the browser? It's this one. Oh, we don't have anything, no change. Let me check why. Oh yes, those are the left items. We need to do the same one for the right items. Okay, so just copy and paste this bar here, and we're going to do bar inner list. Bar inner list, and this one is also going to be flex. Let's save changes. Let me see what happened here. Okay, this one is horizontally now. Let me go back. We have to put some padding here, so let's do 3 pixels. Let's change the font size to it. The font size is going to be 15 pixels, and we can also change the list style type, so we don't have anything. List style type to none. Okay, and let's grab again this one, and this time let's modify the A tag. So below here, A tag, and text decoration and the color. Okay, so color, let's type it to inherit, and then text decoration, it's going to be none. Let's save changes. Let's go to development server, and yeah, everything's working. That's pretty cool. Okay guys, so now that we're done here, let me expand this part, and I want to show you how you can use the snippets. So let's create our header. So our header is going to be, let's create another section which is going to be our header, and that's going to be basically our navbar. So let me, since that's going to be displayed in the entire website, let's go to the theme layout. Let's copy and paste this part. Save, but now we need to, I think it's telling you that's not found. Let's go to the sections here. Let's create a header, the liquid. Okay, and once we create our schema, we're going to render or snippet from above here. So let's put a navbar here, and you have to call an object, this tag called render, and let's call it header. Let's save changes, and now you have to go to snippets and create this header again. So here we're just gonna type this header. So let's let me see if it's working now. And yeah, this is the header. So this is going to be our navbar usually. So let's keep working on that. So I'm going to change this one for header. That's going to be our main div, and let's put a class here. Oops, class. This is going to be header nav. Below here, let's put another div. So I think we're gonna have 3 main divs. Yes, so let's have 1, 2, and 3. Let me show you the picture. So we have a visual here, and you guys have a reference. This is first div, second div for the links, and then the third div for this icon and this input search. So yeah, let's create the image here. So we're going to wrap this image in an A tag, and let's put an href, because we want to make it clickable. Every time we click, the image is going to take us back to the homepage, right? So image. Let's put a source, and then let's import images from our assets. Okay, so like the PNG. and yeah, and this is the properties it's gonna use, an image that's gonna come from our assets URL. And yeah, so let's save changes again and see if we've seen everything in the development server. This is the Nike image, perfect. So now let's do our navbar. So our links are gonna be in this middle div. Okay guys, so now we need to access our navigation from Shopify, and this comes from here. So I'm gonna go back to my development server. We need to loop this part. Leave page, let's go here to our navigation, and here is where you have footer menu and the main menu. We have this is where you create your navigation options. You can add a menu item, you can check. This is the ones I created already. I created 6 for tutorial, and then here you link the pages so your navigation is complete. This is the object called link list in Shopify. So let's go back to our code and let's loop for the link list. So we need a tag, and let's type for link in link list, and it's gonna be main menu, and we have to access our links. Okay, let's end the for loop and for, and we're gonna access only the link title, right? So here link, let's see what we have as properties. Title, it's this one, and let's put a tag here, and let's put it link it to, this is gonna convert this is going to convert this in an a tag, and let's link it to the link URL, link the URL. Let's save changes, maybe it's working. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's not working yet. Let's see if we have any errors. No. Okay, I think I have a typo here. Link list. Okay, it's this one. So this is your navigation, and let's see where it takes us. See, if you click on one, it takes you to the collections and then the name of the collection, so you can display all the products. We're gonna work that in 1 second. So now let's go back and keep working. Now we need to work on the right navbar items. So we need to create an input, and there was an image as well for the shopping cart. So this is the div below. Let's copy this class here to give it to this one. Right nav items. And we're gonna have 2 things, and inside here let's put a image, and we're gonna have an input. All right, so input, and this image is not gonna be this one, it's going to be this one. And let me change this to 40 and 40. Okay, and our input, let me put a class, it's gonna be search nav. Let's put a placeholder, so let's put search, and also let's put a type, which is gonna be search, type search. Now, if we want to use the built-in search form from Shopify, you have to wrap this input, you have to give it the type, and then you have to wrap this input into a form action and put the search location. So let's wrap it in a form, and the action is going to be search. Okay, let's save everything, and this is our search, and no, our image is not working. Let's see why. Okay guys, so let's save the changes. Let me go here, and yeah, everything's working. We have our input, and if I type something and I click enter, well, search, I think I had a typo. Let's see. Yes, missing an H. Let's go back and try it one more time. So I should take you to the Shopify built-in, see, to this search option right here. And let's style the navbar a little bit so it doesn't look like that. Okay guys, so let's just do our styles for navbars. So header nav. It's gonna be flex. Let's have a justify content, which is gonna be space between. Let's see. Yeah, space between is good. Now we need to have a margin. Let's put a margin of 0. Let's put a padding of 0. Let's put a background color. Okay, so this should take care of our navbar. Now let's style the divs inside our navbar. So I think for the middle navbar, we need also display flex. So middle navbar, nav links. Let's see if it's working. Middle nav links. Header.link. Okay. And we're gonna give it maybe 10 pixels. And let's the list style type none. Okay, we need to grab our A tag as well. And the font size too. Let's change the font size to 17 pixels. And also change the font weight to bold. Font weight to bold. Oops, alright, so now let's grab this one. And it's gonna be our A tag. And for our A tag, let's put a text decoration and color inherit. Color inherit and the text decoration. And this part here, and I want to give it some effect on hover. So let's grab our list and here let's type on hover, and we're gonna have a text decoration of underline. Now let's do the right navbar, nav items, and that's gonna be a display flex as well, and align items to center. Oh yes, and no, but we have to decorate this search bar. So hold on, I think it's called search nav. So search nav. Let me go to the header and see if that's the real name. Search nav, yeah. So let's do a padding of 10 pixels. What else we have? Let's put a margin top so it pushes a little bit down. 10 pixels. It gets pushed a little down for 10 pixels. Let's put a border radius of 10 pixels as well. And the border, no border. Also, we have to put a background color. So the background color, let's go RGB, 250-50, 250-50, 250-50, and let's make it almost gray, this color maybe. Yes, this looks good enough. And I think we'll take care of media queries maybe at the end of the tutorial. I don't want to make this responsive yet because I want to focus on Liquid. So yeah, this is it. Now let's work on our next section. Okay guys, so let's, we're finished here. So I'm going to copy and paste this part. And I'm going to go back to my header snippet and install. I'm going to leave everything here, so it's easier for me to make changes later. And yes, let's save the file. Let's go back to the browser and see if anything breaks. nothing broke. So we can keep working on our next section. So this time we're gonna work on our index built-in sections, right? So for that, let me close all these tags. Let me go to my index JSON, and here we're going to create a few more sections actually. So let me copy and paste this part, and we're gonna have, well, we still have to work on our banner as well. So let me put 1, 2, I think it's 5 sections. Yeah, 4 and 5. And let's change names. This is gonna be our 3 images. Let's call it like that, 3 images. The next section is going to be more info. Let's write another one for all collections. And one more for all products. And then you have to specify the order of the sections are gonna come built in by default here. So it's gonna be the same order. So let's copy and paste this as well. So save changes, and let's work on our banner section. That's gonna be our first one. So I already created this one. And we're gonna have a few settings here as well. So we need a text. I wanna have a text color and the background color. We already did this with the announcement bar, so we can copy and paste it, right? So we need this one and this property. Let's grab them and put them here. Okay, next we need to inject that in our styles, right? So let me go back here. And let's make this a div. Hold on, div. And this div is gonna have a class. Let's name it banner wrapper. Banner wrapper. And now we can just grab this name. Okay, so yeah, so this is gonna be our background and our color for this section. So this is basically the flow of how you do it with old snippets. So yeah, let's make, I'm gonna have 3 texts. We have a small animation here. We have 3 texts that are going to appear on screen each one of them is going to appear on screen every 1 or 2 seconds. So for that, I think I have to create 3 divs. Let's create a div here. So we're gonna have these 3 elements, and we're gonna need some JavaScript as well. That's why I specify some IDs here. So in order to, I think I never told you, you just have to put the script tag here, and you can write JavaScript. Top 155 pixels. Let's have a left. Let's start at minus 150%. The transform. Let's put transform here. So we're going to translate by minus 50%, minus from 0 to minus 50%. There you go. Translate color black. We can have some padding as well. Padding 20 pixels. Let's have a font size of 20 pixels. And here we're going to add the transition effect, which is going to be smooth. So let's have a transition, and from left is going to take 0.5 seconds, and it's going to be easy in and out. So now we need to access the event listener document. Okay, so let's type document that add event listener, and we need to access our DOM content loader. So DOM is going to take a function inside here, and inside this function we are going to access our text, right, by ID. So let's grab them here and copy paste them. So here we're just accessing our text or divs right here by the ID. So now we need to create an array and a current index. So let's type context, and then here we can grab our text, right? So first one, second one, and then the third one. And the current index, let's create let current index is going to be 0. So now let's create a function to slide the text to the middle. So we're gonna be passing the element and then accessing the style and changing the position. So that would be easy. That would be like this, something like this. Function slide to middle element. And inside here, access the element, access the style, and then you're gonna put left here. And it's gonna be by 40%. Now we need to create a function to reset the position. So function reset position. Let's pass the element again, and it's gonna be the same, but this one is going to be minus, let's put 100%, minus 100%. Oops. Okay, now so we need to use these two functions, so let's type another function which is gonna be called slide text, and inside here we can call our function. So first one, reset position. Let's reset the position, and then we have to slide to the middle, right? So here. But first, in the reset position, we need to pass the element, which is our array right here. So let's access the array text, and then grab the current index, which is the first element. Now we need to update the current index value. Once you update the current index value, just pass again the current index. It has to be like with the array. Pass the current index to the slide to middle function. Now we need to call the function again here. So let me copy and paste this part. And then for the last part, we need to set an interval. So let's set interval. And then in interval, let's pass a function, slide text, and then put a 3 seconds. Sorry, I think 3 seconds should do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's save changes. Let me go back to my browser to see if the animation is working. I see something moving, and this is the animation. So the animation is working pretty good. If you go to the Nike website, you're gonna see it's very similar. So let's okay, let me scroll down. So now let me close these tags, and now we need to work on these 3 images banner. So this is going to be these images, and I'm going to make and I'm going to make this one I'm going to allow the customer to pick the images from the admin, okay? So we get more practice with Liquid. So let's create a section. Let's create a section again. We are going to need a schema as well. So let's work on the schema first. Okay guys, so let's work on our schema, and I'm going to just copy and paste this part. So our schema's name is going to be 3 images, so our index template is able to find it. You're gonna pass settings. We used the image picker before, so you already know. We're gonna have 3 images, and that's it. No blocks, and then the preset is just going to take the name of the section, okay? Okay guys, so let's keep working on our section, and we're gonna have 3 images, and we're gonna basically do what we did before. We're gonna have 3 images by default that are gonna come from our assets folder, and then we're gonna have the dynamic images are gonna be picked by the user. So we need a wrapper first. So let's create a div here. Let's name it with a class and 3 images wrapper. And then here we're gonna have a few conditions, okay? So first we need to access our if tag. So if section, the settings, the image, it's not blank, we're gonna have something, okay? So we're gonna have a div and then a class, and this one is gonna be called OneUser, And this is gonna be your, I'm going to use this time CSS to pass the images because I think it's a little better and easier for the image manipulation. So let's type an H1 here so something appears on the screen for now, and div, and close the div. And I think I need to close, we have to have our else statement, I'm sorry, else we're gonna have something else, right? So copy and paste this part. Let's just type 1 and the F statement. Okay, so this is basically what we're gonna do. It's gonna make a little more sense. If you're familiar with CSS, you know we can access, we can pass images with background image, so, and the URL function. So let me copy and paste this. I'm gonna do it 3 more times since we have 3 images, 1 and 2, and just change the properties here for 3, this is gonna be 2, 2, 3, and 3. I think that's good enough for now, and let's create a style tag. Okay, so let's go to our CSS right here, and I'm going to write my CSS here. So I think 3 images wrapper, that's the first class. Let's call it display flex. Next we need to access the first one, so 1, we're gonna have a background image, let's call our URL function, and this is gonna come from liquid. Okay, so here type 1 the png, and it's gonna be an asset URL, so it comes from here, is this image right here, 1 the png. So that's it, that's very much it. So we can access a width and a height. So width is gonna be 33%, 333, and then the height maybe 100 pixels, 500 pixels. What else can we do? The background size as well. Background size is going to be cover, and then also the background position. Let's center it. Background position, center it. This is it. Let's copy and paste this one, but this one is going to be for our one user, so an image that comes from the user, and it's going to come from our image URL. So image, the URL. Let's change this bar as well, because that's not going to come from one PNG. It's going to come from sections from our image picker. Settings, image. Let's transfer these styles to our main page. So let's copy them, and we're gonna put them here. And next we need to add 2 more, right, for our other 2 images. So copy and paste, and just change the names. So 2. Let's save the document. Let's go to the live server, and I think I'm seeing changes, and yes, this is the default images that we're displaying. Okay, this is our banner, and we have the image picker here, so let's select a new image. Let's see, all right, this one. So yes, we're able to select images. Let's select another one. Let's select this computer, and let's change this one. All right, let's use this guy. So yes, everything's working. That should be it. I'm going to fix that in a second. Let me keep working on the rest of our sections. Okay guys, so let's go to our sections folder and create a new section. This one is gonna call more info, the liquid. And inside here, we're gonna follow basically the same structure from before. Here, I'm going to copy and paste our schema. The name of the section is gonna be more info. We're gonna have a color. We're gonna have a background color. We're gonna have a text color, and we're gonna have 1 and 2 text settings, all right, to change our text, okay? So, okay, let's keep working on our HTML and CSS. Let's have a class that's gonna be more info. Below here, I'm going to need a div for the wrapper. So in this wrapper, we're gonna have again an if condition. So we're gonna have if section, the settings, the text, it's not equal to blank. We're going to display something. So in that case, let's display an h1 and close this h1. And the text is going to be the resolution story path. Here we're gonna access the value that our user is going to give us. So let's access it from settings, right? So block, no, I'm sorry, it's let's type section, the settings, the text. Okay, that's the name of our text. And yes, that's it. Have another one basically for the second text, similar for the second text. So if there's no second two, we're gonna have a p tag instead. Let's change this. This is coming from our second text. And below here, I'm gonna have a button too. Button. Shop. Let's save the changes, and I think we don't have any styles yet. Okay guys, so let's create our styles. So here, styles. So I copy and paste the styles here. So, and the more info, we're gonna have our background and our color as we already used to it. We're gonna have a display flex and justify content to center everything in the middle. So in the wrapper, we're gonna have as well flex. The direction is gonna be a column, the width 500 pixels, justify content center, and align item center. So the H1 inside the wrapper is going to have a font size of 50 pixels. And then the wrapper button is going to have a padding, some styles here, some basic styles. And when you hover on it, it's going to change color. So that's basically it. Let me save the changes now. Okay guys, so I think we're pretty much done in our 3 images section. Save the changes, push all the new changes to Shopify. We are going to want to test our new section. Let's wait. Okay, everything's done. I'm gonna go to the browser, and yep, this is the website. It's looking pretty good now. Let me go back to Shopify now. I'm going to refresh. And this is our website, which looks good. So it's working. We already tested this before, and this is our resolution pack. This is also, we have a default text and then default text 2, and if you want to change it, you already know how to do it from Liquid. So let me minimize this part. Now let's work on our next section, which is going to be the collections. I want to display all my collections from my store into my template. So let's go ahead, let's close this windows first, and let's go to sections, and I'm gonna create all collections, the Liquid. And I'm also going to create the next one, which is going to be really similar, all products, the Liquid. Okay, first let's start working on this all collections. This is going to be the schema. It's going to be called all collections. We're going to have the color and the background. We're going to be able to change the background and the text color of the section. And that's, pretty much it for display. That's pretty much it. And that's pretty much what I want to do here, because I want to show you the functionality to get the collections from our admin. So let's create a section first. Let's put a class here. Oops, class all collections. Let's save changes, and below here I'm going to have an h1, and let's call it feature collections. Okay, let's create a div. Okay, let's create another div, and this one is gonna have a class of collections container. Collection container. Let's create another div. So let's copy and paste this one. Collection wrapper. Okay, so inside this div is where we want to loop. So I'm going to open curly braces and I'm gonna call collections. Oops, collection in collection. I think it's collection in collections. Okay, this is how we access the collection object, but I'm missing the for. Let's end the for here. So let me grab first the title. All right, so let's create an h3. We just want our title from each collection, and inside here it's an object which is gonna take our collection, the title, and then we want to link it. So let's transform this into an a tag to link to collection.url. And this is going to be the collection selected. And now let's save changes, and I'm gonna go to my products, and I'm going to do exactly the same, but this time we're gonna loop for our product. So this is gonna be the schema for our products, exactly the same as the one before. So we're gonna have a color and a background color, and just name it. Above here, let's start with our section. See the similarities here. So all collections, let's change it to all products. Feature collections, let's change this part too. And here we're grabbing all products from a specific collection. So I want to grab collections, and in square brackets I'm going to type the name of the collection I want to grab. Since this is a Nike website, I have a collection called Air Force, and let's grab the title, right? So now let me wrap these. Let's change this to product. Let me grab these to all products wrapper. And here, this is the for loop that's going to change. Okay, so let me just refactor this for loop. So we're gonna have, instead of collection, for product in collections, and we're gonna grab Air Force, and this is where we are grabbing our products, right? So products. Now we are gonna be able to access all the information. So product, the title, and then we can link this to our product URL. So I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so save changes, and we should be able to see all the changes in real time. Go to the website, and okay, this is it. This is the collections. I'm looping through all my collections. I have one that's called Air Force, Air Jordan, Bestsellers, Dunk, LeBron, only at Nike, and my Air Force collection is displaying this. And if I click this, it's gonna take me to the product page. We haven't created the product page or the collection, so that's what we're gonna work now. But first I want to give some styles, and I want to be able to display images for these products and make them horizontally here. So let's work on that, and then we can keep working on our collections. So let me minimize these changes. So I'm gonna create a div. Let's put a class here, and then it's gonna be our collection card. So grab this and wrap it inside here, because we want to add an image, right? So our image. Okay, so this is gonna be our image. Let's save changes, go back here, and we're displaying the images for each collection. That's pretty cool. Let me go back, and now I think we can start working on our CSS from here. So let me just grab style here. I'm gonna copy and paste the styles here, and then we can walk you through it. So this one's you're familiar already. We're passing the background and the color text. So so we can change them from the admin. The collection container is going to be a position of relative, and we're going to have this overflow X, which is going to allow us, because we're going to display our products horizontally, and since we have too many collections, they're going to overlap to the limits of the page, so we want to be able to scroll. I'll show you the effect right now. And all the collections wrapper is going to have a flex, and the transition of the scroll is going to be this one, transform 0.3 and is. The collection car is going to have a padding, a box sizing, a border box, the display, and we're going to have we're going to use flags and the following properties. And yeah, and I think that's pretty much what you want to save the changes and go to your browser, and we should be able to see all the changes here. And yeah, it's working. This is the scrolling, and these are our collections. So oops, let me go back. Now we can do the same with our Air Force products. So here, guys, same as before, we have to add the image. You have to add the following properties: the width, the height, and this property, which is loading lazy, and this property as well. And then we're gonna grab the products from the feature image and pass in the tag image, the URL, and then add the tag image URL since it comes from our admin. And then we are displaying here the title and the link to the product, right? So below here, we're going to work on our CSS. Okay, guys, and this is going to be the CSS. So it's basically the same that we did before in the collections. These two sections are the same. So let me just go back here, and these are our products, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I think we're done here. We need to work on our footer now, and then we can work on the navigation of the website and then the customer account pages as well. So let's keep working on it. So for the footer, we want to create a section. So footer liquid, but we want to be able to display the footer in all the website, right? So let's go here and then copy and paste this part, and below our main section, call the footer section. Go back to footer, and then we are gonna work on our schema. And this is the schema that we're going to use, and I'm going to go above here, and I'm also going to do the same for this. So I'll walk you through it. So this is the footer, and we're gonna have these default values. I wanna make this one really quick because I wanna focus on the product and the collection pages, which are more important, and the navigation for the website as well. So we can just keep it simple here. And yeah, we're gonna have these default values if the blocks that we display in our settings are 0, and else we're going to loop in our blocks, and we're going to pass these blocks dynamically from the backend. So yes, and that's it, and that's pretty much it. And we're gonna have a little div below here, and this is the styles here. We're passing the background, the color, we're having flags, and justify the content. Let me save the changes and go back to the browser and to see we're seeing everything in real life. And yeah, this is the footer. So yes, so this is the main part of the website. I should be able to let me push the changes to Shopify. So yes, push the changes to Shopify, and then we're gonna work on our collections and product section. Okay guys, so for the next step, we're going to work on our next templates. And I said that we're gonna work on the collection and product template. And yeah, and in the meantime, I'm going to create everything. So let's start with our for.json. This is going to be the default template for JSON. So now I'm going to, and it's gonna have a section, and the main section, which is gonna be only one, it's going to be our for section that we'll create in 1 second. And this is the other, guys. So let's create another one, which is going to be our cart.json. Template is going to be like this one. It's going to be like this. Let's create another one. Collection.json. So this collection.json, copy and paste this one, and we're gonna have a collection, and the order is right here. Let's create, we needed the product, the JSON, right? Product.json. So this is going to be our product.json, and I'm going to create one more. So this one is gonna be the search.json. If you want more sections by default in this template, just add them here like we did in our index. And yeah, that's pretty much the flow of it. Now we want to create a template for our account. So for users that have an account or are logged in, so you have to create here customers. Make sure you spell this right. And inside here we have other templates as well. So we have the account.json. So you copy and paste this part, and it's like this one. We also have customers. Which one? What's the other one that we have? We have activate account.json. Okay, we also have the login.json. We also have register. And we also are going to have, we have a few others. I'll show you this one as well. We also have the order.json, all right? Order.json, and inside here we can copy and paste it. And these are a few of the templates that Shopify provides to us by default, so it's easier for us to develop websites with them. Now that we have the templates, we can start working on our collections and on our products. So I'm gonna start with, we should start with the collection, okay? So in the collections, let's create a section called collections. So here, type collection, the liquid. And this is the page that's going to show us all products in one single collection. So we want to be able to paginate, because we maybe have a lot of products in one collection. So what we do here is we have to call this tag, and we're going to call it paginate collection.products. Okay, and then just specify by how much. We're going to do it by 4 since we don't have that many products in my store. So, and paginate. And we also have to specify an object here, paginate, and default, and put the tag default pagination. Okay, and this is going to be our main div, and we're gonna have two divs horizontally. We're gonna have a filter here, and then we're going to display our products, the products from our collection, in a grid here. So right here we are just going to have an option, right? An option tag, which is going to loop for our collections or options, and then display the values in the value of the option tag, just like you see on the screen here. So below here we're gonna have our collection. We're going to display first the collection object title, and then we're gonna loop for every product in our collection. We're gonna use an image like we did before, and then display the title right here and link it to the specific product. So let's work on our styles here. So below here we're gonna have our styles just like we did before, passing the background and the color. Put some padding here in the main div, and we're going to make it 2 horizontal divs like I told you. This is going to be our grid, and we're gonna have 3 columns in our grid and a gap between them of 20 pixels, just like I put in these comments right here. And then decorate the product card with border padding and align the text to the center. And the image is gonna have a max width of 100%. And yeah, this is going to be the style. Now for our pagination effect to work, we need to grab some JavaScript, and this is something I grabbed from the Shopify documentation on pagination, and you can just find it there. Let's save the changes, and I think we can keep working. I'm going to work on our product page, so let me create a product page. But first I'm going to go back here. I name it main.product. So just remember that the names here have to match. I can close all these. I have too many things open. Now for our main product, let me just copy and paste this part right here and I'll walk you through it. We're having a section here and inside the div, we're gonna have another div, and I'm basically going to divide the section in two parts. First one, we're going to display a big image of the product in the left, and then we're going to display a few information of the product on the right. So like the title, the price, the description. We're gonna loop for our variants here, and we're gonna grab the variants by the ID. So if we're selling shoes in this website, so the variants I put on my products are the size of the shoes, so that's what we're gonna grab here. And we have a button here to add the products to the cart, and yeah, that's it. And we have some styles here, so that's pretty much it here. Now let's work on our next section, which is going to be our main, the 404, the liquid. And inside here, so we're gonna copy and paste this part, and we're just gonna have a small section here. 404, we're gonna have, so I put some styles here, so the 404 is on the middle, it's centered in the middle here. And then our basic schema, this is just a really basic schema, so Shopify detects the changes. Now let's work on our next section. Let's see, what else do we have here. We have a cart, so let's create a cart here. So in our cart liquid, this is it. So this is our cart liquid, and we're going to start with the schema, just like we did before. We have our styles right here, and then we're gonna have a little form here because we want to, this is the part where you want to check out, where you want to be able to check out, and also you want to display the products that had been added to the cart. So how you accomplish this is, we're gonna have a if statement here checking if our cart is empty. We're just going to display this on the middle, a cart is empty. Else we're going to loop for the items. This is the Shopify object that you use to loop through cart item. And we're gonna display basically the image, the title, and the final price with the money tag here, so we can see a little dollar sign next to the price for the cart and the products. And then we're gonna have an HR here, and then we're going to display the total here. We're gonna be able to type how many products we want to remove from the cart, and then a submit button to update those changes if you want to remove or update the quantity. And then here, this is the button which is type submit, and the name is checkout to checkout. So Shopify will take you to the Shopify built-in page. Now let's work on the search page. So inside our search page, we have a schema, we have the text and the background color, and below and above here, I'm going to loop for the search results that we have. So we access the search object here. We have a little message informing that this is the search page, and then we loop for the results. So loop for the results, and then we're going to display the results in this results object. And if we don't have any results, we're just going to display this message to the user in this h1 tag. And that's pretty much the search section. I don't really want to make this too long, and we can work on some of the customer account pages. So just save the changes here, and I'm going to push everything to Shopify first. Shopify team push, and then we can start working on our template accounts really quick. So let's push the changes here. Let me just grab my development server. This is it. I think no errors here. So okay, changes have been pushed. Let me go back here, refresh. Everything's working. Yep, let's click on this section here, and yeah, these are the products. This is the pagination. Everything seems to be working nicely. And what happens if we click in one of these products? It's going to take you to the product page. Let me see if I can go to my car. If it took me to my home page, I think I never specify the URL. Let's just go to header. Oh, it's a snippet. Let me see if that works. So, oops, this is a screenshot. Let's refresh changes. And this is the car. We have a car empty. And yeah, everything seems to be working nicely. Let me go back. We have some navigation here, which is working perfectly. As I showed you before, this is the default login template that comes with Shopify. If you want to change this, you just have to, let's minimize everything and go back here, and we can work on our login page now. So let's name it main. It has to match the name that you gave it on the template. So it's main customer login. I'm going to save the changes. I'm going to have just a little schema here. I put some styles here, and that's basically just a form. And this form, you have to specify this form tag, which is the customer login. So Shopify knows this is your login function, and then specify the errors. And then you can just do a normal form and just the normal properties that you would use in an HTML form. We have a password, we have a submit button. So I think I saved the changes already. Let's see if that's working. So it's not detecting the changes now. I think I have to refresh this part. So let me just Shopify theme SERP again. Let's wait until the theme is synced. Okay, I think it's ready. Gonna go back, refresh, go to our sign in, and yes, and yeah, this is my new login page, which is pretty cool. So let's go to the home page. And yeah, that was my new personalized custom login page. I'm going to push everything. Shopify theme push. Let's push the changes to the live theme. Okay, so let me go back here. Let's refresh. This is our website. Let's go back here. You get to see our announcement bar. We have our nav bar. We have a banner. We have this section right here. We have a footer. And that's pretty cool. So this was basically the flow of Shopify theme development, which is actually a little easier than regular web development, just with the addition that you have to learn Liquid. Let's view the changes in real life. And this is the website. It looks cool. We have our scrolling here. And yes, guys, so I think that was it for the tutorial. I'm going to pause it here because the tutorial is really long. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments down below. The code is going to be hosted in my repo in GitHub, so just check it out if you want the code for yourself or for your next project. So if you want access to the code, just check it out there. So I just wanted to make this Liquid tutorial since I have a Shopify series on my channel and I don't have anything for Liquid. So this was it. For the next tutorials, we're going to focus 100% on Remix and making full stack applications with Remix. I think that's what's trending right now. So that's what you guys want to see mostly. So yeah. So hope to see you there and have a great day. Bye.